Friends, today we're going to go over colors. My favorite color is green. What is your guys' favorite color? Those are pretty awesome colors. We're going to look over colors today, and I have some videos of me doing some watercolors to show you the colors that we are going to be talking about. Friends, in Max's dragon shirt, there is a bus. Does anyone know what color the bus is? Yes, the bus is red. The red is really bright and it draws your eyes on the page. Like, I know for me, when I looked at the book, it drew me in because of how bright the red was. On the next page, I noticed that Ruby is wearing a yellow dress. Yellow is a pretty bright color. It really draws my eyes in because it is so bright. Friends, do you know of anything else that is yellow? Yes, the sun is yellow, bananas are yellow, and even lemons are yellow. Colors appear so much in our everyday lives, and so it's so easy to find examples. In this picture, friends, I noticed different shades of blue, and a shade is a variation of a color. And so you see that the base of the curtain is this light blue, but there's like darker blue spots on the curtain as well. In order to get a lighter color, you can add white. So I could take the darker circles and add white and make it match the color of the base of the curtain. The next color we're going to talk about is green. And as you guys can remember, I love the color green. However, the dress in this picture is a little bit darker than I like. I typically like a lighter green. And so to get the color I would like, I would need to add, what color would I need to add to make this lighter? Yeah, white is correct. And so here behind me, I have some green leaves hanging up. And so it is one of my favorite colors. Leaves are green, the grass is green, this dress is green. So there's a lot of green examples in our everyday life, just as there are yellow ones. The last color we're gonna look at is purple. And purple, just like green, is a mix of two colors. And so does anyone know, and it's okay if you don't, does anyone know what two colors make up purple? The two colors that make up purple are red and blue. And so you can mix those two colors together to equal purple. And in a little bit, we're gonna play a little game to go over mixing colors to prepare for the next time I see you activity. And so purple and green are two colors that you would need to mix in order to make those colors, whereas red and blue are primary colors, and so you cannot mix anything to get those colors. But you can add white to these to make different shades or even different colors. And we'll look at that in a minute. Friends, today we are gonna play a color mixing game. And so how it will work is I will put two colors on the screen and you guys are gonna try to guess which colors they create. And here I have a little artist palette where I will be mixing the colors to show you how it works. So let's begin. Earlier in this session, I talked about what these two colors make. So it's red and blue. And we are gonna mix these colors and see what they make. So while I'm doing this, I want you guys to put your thinking cap on and guess what color these two colors make when mixed together. Okay, finalize your guesses and let's see if you were correct. Okay. If you guess that these two colors make purple, then you are correct. So here I made purple, and that is what red and blue make. Okay, moving on to the next one. Yellow and red. And so this one's a little bit more challenging, but let's see if you guys can guess it. So I'm gonna put some red paint and some yellow paint in my mixer, in my little tray. And now I want you guys to think about what color you think these two colors make. Since red is such a darker color than yellow, I need to use a lot more yellow to get the color that we are making. So the color that red and yellow make is orange. And so here I made orange paint out of red and yellow. So the next two colors that we're going to look at is blue and yellow. So here I have my blue paint, and it's going to be the same for red. Blue is such a stronger, darker color than yellow is, so I'm going to have to use more yellow than blue to get the color that we are trying to create. I'm going to get as I get my color mixing, I want you guys to think about what color could be made from yellow and blue. And I'll give you a hint. It's my favorite color. So if you guys remember at the beginning of session, I told you what my favorite color was. So that's my hint. So I'm done mixing. And now we're gonna look and see what blue and yellow make. They make green, and so here I have my green paint that I made. And so moving on to the next two colors we're gonna look at is red and white. And so I said at the beginning of the session that white makes colors lighter. And so I want you guys to think back to when I said that and think about colors that you know that are lighter than red, but similar. Okay. So think about what color could be lighter than red. So I'm mixing and I'm mixing. Okay. So I finished mixing, and the color that red and white create is pink. And so here I have pink that I made. And so pink is red and white put together, as earlier mentioned. And that makes sense because white is gonna make things brighter. They're gonna make things lighter in color and lighter in shade. So if you want a different shade of an orange or a green, you could add a little bit of white and get a lighter shade of that. Or you could add a little bit of black or a little bit of gray to get a darker shade of a green. Okay. So the next one we're gonna look at, and our last one, is black and white. And so I'm gonna put on my palette these two colors, and you guys are gonna tell me what color you think these colors make. So I am going to pour them out and mix them in my palette. So the color that black and white makes is gray. So here on my palette, I have gray, and I just put black and white in a section and just mixed it together with paint. And so I think this is helpful for many different reasons, because if you only have a certain colors of paint, like if you only have red and blue, well, you can have purple. So now you have red, blue, and purple. If you have, you know, yellow, red, blue, and white, you can make pink, you can make orange, you can make purple, you can make different shades of yellow, red, and blue with the white. And so you have lots of options with very few paint, but it's also, I want you guys to think about it when like you're mixing a recipe. Like if you guys have ever made cupcakes, eggs, flour, that all comes together to make a new product. And so that's what we're doing here. Other centers that I've done, I've made cakes, and so I've used different ingredients, but all those different ingredients came together and made something new. And so look at these paints as different ingredients that you're putting together to make something new. And so you can put red and yellow together and make orange, just like you can put flour, water, and eggs together and make cupcakes. It's the same idea. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with me today, because I know I had a lot of fun with you guys. And now you'll be going to Miss Ari for another center. Bye.
Hi friends, it's Miss Ari, and today for writing, we're going to be making a seasons book. For today's activity, you're going to need construction paper, a pipe cleaner, and any writing utensil of your choice. I'm using markers. So, to make your book, all you need to do is fold 2 pieces of paper in half. And then, if you want, you can poke little holes and put pipe cleaners through it like I did. We're also going to be using this book next time in writing, so make sure you put it in a very special place that you won't lose it. On the front of my book, I just wrote Seasons Book by Miss Ari, but you can decorate it however you would like. Before we start, do we know what the 4 seasons are? Right, the 4 seasons are winter, spring, summer, and fall. And what season are we in right now? Right now we're still in winter, but it's about to be spring. So for our first season, we're gonna do winter. So I just wrote winter at the top, and then we're gonna draw what it looks like outside in this season. Maybe some activities that you do, or other fun things that you associate with this season. So I already started my drawing, and I drew some snowflakes because usually in the wintertime it snows. And I'm also gonna draw a snowman because when it snows, you can build snowmen outside with your friends or even your family. If it's snowing outside, what kind of temperature is it? Is it really, really hot, or is it really, really cold? Right, during the wintertime, it's usually pretty cold, which is how the snow can come down, because it has to be really cold for it to snow. Now, on the other page of your book, so when you open it up, you can draw one picture on this side, and we're gonna write on this side. So we're going to write the words that we think about when we think of the word winter. So I know my first word is going to be cold, because in the wintertime it's very cold. And like we just said, in the wintertime it gets really cold and it snows a lot. I know one of my favorite things when I was younger, when it snowed, was having snow days from school. I got so excited when I woke up and my parents told me to go back to bed because we were having a snow day. In the wintertime also, what kind of clothes do we wear? Do we wear sunglasses and tank tops and flip-flops? Or do we wear something else to keep us warm? Right, in the wintertime, we usually wear jackets and hats and gloves or a scarf. So that's what I'm going to write next. In the wintertime, there's also a lot of holidays that we spend with our family. There's also school breaks that happen in the winter. So I'm going to write holidays-breaks. I think that's enough for winter. So here's what my page looks like. There's my snowman. He's saying burr and on the snow. And then here's all the things we wrote about what happens in the winter. So now we're going to flip to the next page of our book. And I already started drawing my drawing already. So I titled it Spring and I drew some flowers and a sun. So let's draw some more of what it looks like outside during this time of year. I know in the spring, it's a little warmer out. That's because the temperature increases during the spring. It also is usually a lot sunnier outside, and the sun stays out for longer during the springtime. So when we wake up, it's usually dark outside, and then when we go to bed, it's usually still pretty light out until it gets pretty late. That's one of my favorite things about spring. So after school, I could go play with my friends outside because it was always just so nice out. What kind of activities do you do in the spring that you can't do in the fall or the winter? Right, usually in the spring we can go outside, maybe we can go play a game in the yard, we can play hopscotch, we can color with chalk on the sidewalks, and those are all things that we can't do in the wintertime because it's too cold and the ground is usually covered in snow. So in the spring, we're usually outside a lot more because there's fresh air, the flowers are blooming, and it just is really nice out, but it's not too hot yet. And in the springtime, what kind of clothes do we wear? Right, we wear sunglasses to protect our eyes from the sun, or we even wear tank tops, flip-flops, or shorts, depending on how hot it is outside. But those, again, are all things we would not wear in the winter. So let's write some of those things we just talked about down on our next page. So first, I'm gonna write sunny because it's really sunny in the springtime. It's sunny and warm. Something I also know about the springtime, have you ever heard the phrase, April showers bring May flowers? Right, because spring starts around April time, and it rains a lot during the spring, so that the grass can grow, so that the flowers can grow, and it's just something that happens during this time of year. So I'm going to write what kind of clothes we wear, that we wear sunglasses and t-shirts. And that it rains, we can go for picnics, and we can play outside. Spring is my favorite kind of year because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Is spring your favorite time of year, or do you have a different season that's your favorite? That sounds cool. And we all have different seasons because some people like the temperature to be hot or some to be cold, but there's always great things about every season. Next time we're in writing, we're gonna fill out the summer and the fall pages in our seasons book, so make sure we do not lose this book. Now let's go back to Miss Khalees.
Hey friends, and welcome to Sharing and Goodbye. So today we read Max's Dragon Shirt for the very first time with Miss Caitlin. I hope you all enjoyed reading that book. Maybe you know Max and Ruby from TV and you were very excited to see them in Jumpstart today. After that, we went to group meeting, and in group meeting you were able to learn about some things with me. Then you did a small activity. After that, we went to Centers, and we had some really fun activities planned for Centers today. I hope you really enjoyed that. You were able to start your own seasons book with Miss Ari, and then after that, you went and mixed some colors and learned about primary and secondary colors with Miss Hannah. Now, I know you're sad that it's time to go, but we have to wrap up Jumpstart for the day. So, I want you to look to your left, I want you to look to your right, I want you to find a friend, a family member, a teacher, somebody that you can talk to, and I want you to share what your favorite part of Jumpstart was for today. But before we leave, I'm going to give you some time to think about it. So let me find a thinking cap for you. We put that on. Let's put a thinking cap on for me. Let's think about what our favorite part of Jumpstart was today. Alright friends, I hope that was enough time to think. I know I have my favorite part locked up in my brain up here. So we are going to end our video. I want you to share what your favorite part of Jumpstart was, and then I'll see you again for implementation 2, where we get to read Max and Ruby one more time. Bye friends.